Here's the other thing that he does, and I'm really disappointed in. I'm not going to say my people, but I'm disappointed in people in general that they're able to hear Donald Trump in one breath say nothing. All he does is mention the black community. We're going to do good by the inner city. We're going to do good by the Detroit and Chicago. We're going to do X, Y, and Z economically. And he doesn't outline anything that he's going to do to fix it economically. And when he does, if you actually go and look at his 10-point program for the black community, you'll realize that it really isn't anything of substance. But then he turns around and expressly says what he's going to do in terms of cracking down on crime and cracking down on drugs. And he even slid in there how he's going to increase funding to help people who are already addicted to drugs. But then yesterday we found out that Jeff Sessions is going to crack down on marijuana, right? So, you're not getting addicted to marijuana. So when Donald Trump is showing this compassionate side about helping people who are addicted, he's not talking about marijuana. He's talking about heroin. And heroin overwhelmingly is I mean, don't get me wrong, it does affect all communities, but the people who are dying from it, they're predominantly white. So here in the face of Donald Trump saying nothing in terms of what he's actually going to do to help the black community, then he turned around in the same exact breath and says exactly what he's going to do to hurt the black community. And you got people running around here saying Donald Trump is going to do something great for the black community. And I'm just blown away by how many black people who are supposed to be intelligent actually buy into that bull.
Well, I mean, let me take that from a different angle. I agree with everything you just said, and I'm also bring it full circle right here. In large part, the black community is not doing very well, in America right now, and a large portion of our population is poor, working class, and these policies are not designed to help poor and working class people. They just aren't. And even the middle and upper middle class, as the destruction of the public sector kind of continues to, as it kind of continues, we'll start to feel the effects of those things as well. So what it comes down to is, if you understand where you are, black people, most of us are working class and poor, and then you have some that are a little bit higher up, but it's a small faction, right? We should understand that these policies largely are not going to benefit us, and even the ones that do benefit us on the front end, they're going to be outmatched by the things that hurt us in the long run on the back end. So let's say if he invests some money in HBCUs, while that does do some good, it really doesn't do much more good than when he cuts things like food stamps or the Pell Grants or even housing assistance. You know, those things actually do a lot more damage than the money he gave to the schools. So you know, you have to think about it like an equation. Like there's inputs, you got plus and minus, right? And there's a lot more minus on the list than there is plus right now. Not to mention the police and him being a law and order president.
Right. Law and order. Yeah. Actually, before I even go on, I wish I had my applause track, because you're right. If we don't view this as a simple cost benefit analysis, a simple equation, you're right. What is he taking away? What is he giving us? And what's pissing me off, what ticks me off to no end, are people who all they need to hear, all they ever needed to hear was this white man to say, oh, we're going to fix the problems of the inner city. But he has yet to outline how he's going to do it beyond his 10-point nationalistic capitalistic program, right? If you look at his 10-point program, he's talking about cutting taxes. Whoop-de-doo, cutting business taxes, right? Whoop-de-doo. How many black people have businesses that actually could benefit from a reduction in the corporate tax rate? Let alone what's the cost benefit analysis of that, right? What are we taking away from the programs in that city by gutting the infrastructure, gutting the tax coffers, by giving away these give outs to the top 1% and to businesses? But yet all these people wanted to hear was they think Donald Trump is going to do more for the black community because he invited HBCU presidents to the White House. You know, and then tonight in his speech, he literally juxtaposed nothingness with regard to how he's going to fix the problems, the economic problems in the black community. He juxtaposed that immediately followed by how he's going to crack down on the black community. And people are probably running around saying, oh, he's going to do more for us than Obama did. what he's delivering the same empty rhetoric as Obama, and he's delivering a Justice Department that doesn't want to pay any attention to the police brutality, will not pursue anything on voter suppression, and they're going to start cracking down on marijuana. And all of black people, all of us out here, we smoke. Everybody's smoking weed, but it's obviously historically accurate that white people smoke just as much as black people, but black people go to jail twice as much for it. So he's cracking down. He's juxtaposed how he's going to hurt the black community, immediately preceded rather by how he's going to do nothing to help us economically. And you have black folks out there clapping their hands like, yeah, he's going to do something for the black community. Let me stop. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, I was going to say, I said it reverse, but I'm going to say it this way. These policies are going to benefit rich and wealthy people. And largely, we are not rich and wealthy. That's just not who we are. So right. I don't see how we can think that, when you look at all the things that are going down, that somehow it's going to be a positive effect for us. Yeah. Like you said, when you cut taxes and cut resources that go towards the public good, largely we depend on those public goods. Right. One of the largest employers of black people is the federal government. Oh, excuse me, not the federal government. Is the federal government, the municipal, and the state governments together. They are the largest employer of black people. All of those put together are the largest employer of black people. That is where many of us make our money. That's where many of us survive. And we have someone saying they want to cut spending. They want to freeze the growth of government spending. They want to cut government down. Well, those are your jobs that are going to be disappearing. Right. And I'm wondering how you feel that that's going to somehow benefit you. I'm wondering how you feel that when your schools lose funding or when they get privatized, that somehow that's going to be good for you. I think there was a video been done earlier that choice is not always freedom.